Hello everyone, this is Isaiah Houston from Ground Game YuGiOh, and I'm here with
Frank Nicola.
How did you do and what did you play?
So I finished day 1 X2, and then I won my 2 rounds the next day. Unfortunately, my tiebreakers weren't the best, so I came in like 40th. I only lost in time. I feel like if I would have known the format better, because I learned this deck like literally a day before I started playing, the fact that I got as far as I did with 1 day of testing is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. At the Airbnb, I built you this tier deck and you just learned it in a day, and insane, man.
Yeah, I played through a lot of crazy boards. First off, like the best non-engine card I honestly would say for the weekend was the danger package. These were just triggering all the cards I needed them to trigger. Sometimes you would like keep the Jackalope in hand as your last card so you can get to a level 7 for a Baron line or level 4 for a Redoer line. They were really good with the +1. I never really got trolled on them. The fact that Nessie is an Aqua, you need to play 3 Nessie just for that reason alone. You could also play Gamma Seal, but Gamma Seal's break. For the tiers, we decided to pretty much max out on everything we could play. Wanted to do consistency here, so we did 3 Rhino, 3 Tier Catch, which is actually just the best one of each of the little one, because you can only play 3. I did side out this a lot. In my other build, I was only playing 1. I was like, there's no way this is right. So I'm very glad Isaiah helped me out with that. For the Shizus, you just play all 4. As soon as you mill a YuGiOh or Kelbeck, your opponent starts fumbling. So, and then we played some in the extra deck. Also get them out of your hand. Kelbeck is a hand trap too, but I never really did that. Your first 2 targets, you always want to get rid of a problematic card with this if you can, or tier to pop with Perlino. But then these are usually your second 2 targets, so you have an alternate win condition. You can mill your opponent out and then shuffle in stuff so you don't deck out. I did it against Flu when I had nothing else. Mally and Denier. This is the only way to resolve Mally 3 times. You get to Beatrice very easily in this deck. They really outperformed, honestly. I thought they were going to be terrible. They were damn near the best card in the deck sometimes. For the hits off of the mills, we did Beast, Hollow, Night Sword Serpent, which was ridiculous. Destrudo's not really a hit, but what's this in the graveyard? You could pretty much get to a Baron immediately. Shyama. If I did not play this card, I would have lost round 8. I summoned Shyama with 2 seconds left on the clock, went to battle and attack to put him at 200 under, so that was awesome. And then you get a +1 with this, and you can mill. If your opponent has a fully built field, this is almost like a YuGiOh or Kelbeck. And then the Night Sword is so you can make Bahamut. For the spells, we have Foolish Burial Goods and Foolish Burial. You're almost always sending Kelbeck or YuGiOh with this, but sometimes you will send a tier name. This usually sends Trivi Karma, but if your hand is like weird, you'll send like a Meta Noise or a Selig. It was the most broken card of the whole weekend. One time I sniped a Spooky Dogwood when we were close to time and a Droll out of somebody's hand, and then I triggered Kelbeck YuGiOh.
Yeah.
So he scooped pretty much immediately after that happened. And then I hit a couple DD Crows. This was the best spell card in the deck for sure. But you have to bait out something like an Ash first before you use it, because they will Ash that. For the tier spells, 3 Scream, 1 Heartbeat, because this deck mills a lot and you gotta add back stuff. And then against shitty backrow decks, you can deal with a problem. 3 Perlino. I didn't care about terraforming because I had Trivikarma. So I was like, if I mill Terraforming, it does nothing. And if I mill Trivikarma, I can get whatever piece I need. So Trivikarma, because honestly, you might even be able to play 2 of this and be fine.
You was about to play 2, bro. I think I convinced you not to.
Yeah.
Did you miss it?
There was some times where I was like, man, I really wish I had another one. But never once wanted Terraforming.
But you technically did play another Trivia Karma, right? With that card in the extra deck?
And then for the traps, 2 Sulik and 1 Meta Noise. No crime, because we were never winning the dice roll. And that card is only good going first unless you put yourself in a situation where you're like banishing your tier names to add them back. That card was never going to be good unless you were going first. So that's these do something that doesn't.
Unless you got like Bestial or something, right?
Yeah, and you gotta play 2 of this one, because not only do you want to like get its effect off the search, but you actually want it as an interrupt. That's the where like this one is only really good against Pirelli, in my opinion. For the extra deck, oh, shout out to Matt, by the way, because I wouldn't have had a deck at all if he didn't loan me like 99% of the deck. This is a stack that I own. And then the Foolish Burials.
The main deck only had 4 cards that were his also.
Yeah,
so
Night and Serpent, Drugudo.
Mine.
It's Night and Serpent, Destrudo, and 2 Foolish Burials. So For the extra deck.
How was the meta noise though? Like, besides, it was just really good to mill though, right?
The meta noise was really good to mill because you can keep getting back tier cash, and sometimes you really would need that tier cash. Like, there was times where I was negating stuff with Toad just to get tier cash back, turn everything back on. But for the fusions, we have Kaleido Heart, pretty self-explanatory. That's your only boss monster left. Dangerous, I thought this card was ass until I actually realized, like, this card can pitch Kelbeck YuGiOh and get your combo started, like with Beatrice. Mud Dragon is an FTK if you can make it turn 0. Turn 1, it makes it to where your tier caches and rhinos are gonna resolve. I didn't play Super Poly though, so, and I don't think I would play Super Poly. Verte, I wish. Draco's Tapelia, you gotta be able to like recycle when you get into a simplified game state, so these will just keep turning into each other. Isaiah and Matt played like a 1-hour testing game because of these cards. I was like, yo, we gotta go to sleep. Yeah, Matt clutched it out. Then Garura, it's Garura, you gotta play it. For the synchros, we only have Baron. You only have one line for it. I never sided Destruder out because there was a lot of times where Baron would be my only win condition going second. People don't really know where you're going with the Destrudo. They think you might be going like Ancient Fairy Dragon or something else, but they never caught on that I was about to make Baron, which was really odd. And it helps you OTK. Sometimes you could tag out back into like a Rhino if you already used to negate. For the XYZs, we have the best XYZ monster in the game, in my opinion.
Beat Rice.
Yeah, Bahamut Shark, Toad, and Redoer.
How was Redoer?
Redoer really overperformed. There was a couple times where I sucked up a card off the top and it was like a Medora or Keldo, and I was like, ooh, I can't use this at all. So I never really sucked up any traps. I think I sucked up a spell one time against Pirelli, and that was really nice. The recursion to add back to tier cash was amazing. I never kept this on field, so I never got to summon 2. But Toad with Baron and like other things, there's no way for them to play through. Bryn, because sometimes you really need Merly to resolve, and in weird scenarios where you got to keep up like Redoer or something, and then it has that sucked up material, you can bounce something back. That's whatever, and those are yours, so I'll hand those back. For the links, we have Dark, because Dark literally revives the craziest stuff right now. It revives Bestials, Tuners that you can make Baron with. SP is the craziest one. Like, if a Rescue Ace player forgot to banish their first SP because they play 2 usually, I think, I would just suck up their SP and then kill them with it. So, and then it has Recursion. Obviously, you gotta play SP. The new Heat is a really good card. Barricade Board Blocker, this card overperformed.
Yeah, we
really.
cut Cross Sheep.
Cross Sheep never came up to where this card, if I didn't have it in my extra deck, I would have 100% lost. It was discarding stuff like Mali, Trivia Karma, which would be terraforming. It can make Sprine because it's a link 2. It's a dark, so you can recur it to make Mud Dragon. It adds back Perlino for follow-up, so you can end on nothing.
Or Scream, too.
Or Scream, but usually it was Perlino. And then in some scenarios against certain decks where you know that they can't deal with like the continuous or whatever, you just leave it on field and they can't pop your stuff. And then this was actually just my only out to like Noir Zeus and like really crazy dumb degenerate cards. So that's why this card is 100% staying in my extra deck for the whole format. For the side deck was really not tested, to be honest. I feel like this is the thing that could undergo the most changes, but like the main 3 things you gotta cover is you have to play Nib because there are like 87 combo decks in the format, and you have to play Droll because of like Pirelli and other decks. I started against Rescue Ace. Apparently that's bad. It won me my match against Dylan Fox, and I think he topped. So if you hit him at the right time, it'll work out good. And then if you hit it flew with it, they just pass their turn. This is really my only out to Dweller outside of Nibiru. So I needed at least something to deal with Dweller, but what was really funny was whenever I would get Dwellered, which I did, it actually just didn't matter. Like whenever I got Dwellered or Drolled, my mills and everything on field was just too much, so it never mattered. 2 Bestials, I wanted like something versus Labyrinth or the Mirror. They were okay. I don't think I summoned them the entire week, but like I did have them in against Drytron round 10. And They were alright. I don't think I would play them again, actually. One scatter shot because these tier mirrors long as hell. One because it's only good going first. It shuffles back, so you gotta play it. And then Dweller Deuce.
Yeah, that's an interesting take on the Dweller Deuce in his side. I'm glad you got X2 with it. You going to Richmond, right?
Yeah, I'm going to Richmond.
So now you get some time to test and you do a lot better. I'm glad I can help you out. Matt, we're going to need those cards again. And if you want more in-depth of like why I chose certain card choices, you know, follow the channel and join our Discord, and I'll be posting some tips and tricks.
Okay.
Congrats, man, on still doing really well. Sorry you didn't get there.
It's
Stand
all
your
right.
ground, everybody.
Stand your ground.